All right. It's been a few days. Let's talk a little bit about the craziness going around this week about Sam Darnold and let's build around him. And come on. Come on. Seriously, enough with this. They're not going to build around Sam Darnold. First of all, let's go back to last week's game. Sam Darnold had 207 yards and a touchdown in a game where it's like, oh my God, we should build around him now. 207 yards. I mean, that is a shit day for a decent quarterback in today's NFL. And that's not to say Sam Darnold had a shit day. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all, so don't even start to put words in my mouth. What I am saying is that he did not have a monster game. He played well. He was I guess you can say he was a game manager for the most part, right? I mean, he didn't do anything spectacular. He played a decent game. But that's where our standards are now, is Sam Darnold has a decent game, and we're like, okay, we're going to build around him now. Stop it. Learn. Go learn something. First of all, if it was before the rookie salary cap, so let's say it's 2010, 2012, I would say, okay, we'll give him a couple more years. What the hell? You know, they probably would have gave him a lot more money and a lot more years, so they be stuck with him anyway. It's not the case now. It is not the case. Go read up on this stuff, okay? And then look at the circumstances. Sam Darnold was not drafted by Joe Douglas. He was not drafted while Adam Gase was the coach. So regardless of who is here next year, whether it's Adam Gase or another coach, Joe Douglas did not draft Sam Darnold. And even if Adam Gase is here, neither did he, okay? Quarterbacks are the cream of the crop. They are the gas that makes the car go, the straw that stirs the drink, if you will. Joe Douglas and Adam Gase, or Joe Douglas and Coach B, XYZ, whatever, are not going to hitch their wagons to Sam Darnold when he's got 3 unproductive years under his belt. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, let's talk about, and I will be honest, I only learned about this the last couple of weeks myself, but I learned about it. Unlike a lot of you crazy fuckers, and I'm going to curse. I usually don't curse on here because my sons watch this and they're young. You crazy fuckers are just going crazy and don't even take into account anything other than your emotion. You know, us Jet fans, we are conditioned to have things go bad. So the second things start to look good, we're like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. And when things go bad, it's like, oh my God, we're going 0-16. We're terrible. We're falling apart. We need to fire everybody. Just calm down, man. Take some lithium. Take some Valium. Whatever the hot Xanax. Whatever the hot calm down drug is these days, take it. Okay? Here's the thing that I learned this week, and you should go learn it too. The rookie salary cap and the rookie deals now state that at the end, before year 4 starts, you have to make a decision on year 5. Okay? And what the Jets have to do with Sam Darnold is in May of 2021, the Jets have to say, we are going to extend Darnold for that 5th-year option or we're not. If they do, it's $25 million. There's no way they're giving Sam Darnold $25 million when they didn't draft him. He hasn't done anything, blah, 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 blah. And they don't even get to see him play next year. So if the Jets say no, then Darnold becomes a free agent after year 4. And the Jets can either try and work out an extension with him then or even franchise him. Now, if you want to pay him $25 million blind, go ahead and do it. If you want to franchise him, if things work out great, you probably pay him around the same money, maybe a little bit more. But at least if you're trying to make that decision, he's done well, right? If he does poorly, you're not on the hook for $25 million. I still think the Jets are just going to trade him and get what they can from this offseason and go in a different direction because the coach and the GM did not draft this guy. Now, I know I keep saying that, but it's an important factor. It's an important factor. The NFL is a quarterback league, and if you have a quarterback and you draft a guy, he is everything. If he does not do well, you're going to get fired no matter how good a coach you are. If you don't have a quarterback that is going to get you over the top and make you competitive, you're out the door and you're on to your next job. Same thing for a GM. These guys are not going to take a 4th-year quarterback and have him be forced down their throat. Now, that these guys comment could be Douglas and Gase. It could be Douglas and a new guy, but let's rewind a little bit, okay? One of the things that went completely wrong last week when the Jets won and lost out on Trevor Lawrence is that this job is not as attractive anymore. It's not as attractive. If you have Trevor Lawrence, the #1 overall pick, and all that salary cap room and all those draft picks, this is a very attractive job. You got a young team that seems to be headed in the right direction. It's New York, right? And let's be honest, coaches, really good coaches have egos. We all have egos. If you have the opportunity to go to a team like the Jets that has been the dregs of the league for 10 years for the most part, on and off for 50 years, and become like a god in New York, you're not going to take that opportunity if the circumstances are right. Now, in a normal circumstance like now, when you have the second pick, you're unsure about the quarterback, you have no idea whether you should throw everything at a fourth-year quarterback who's done nothing, you don't attract guys as much. They're like, yeah, it'd be great to turn the Jets around, but I don't have everything. When you had Trevor Lawrence, you had all the draft picks, you had all the cap room, suddenly this is super attractive. You could attract anybody with that. Now that you don't have that, nobody's coming in here, and you're not getting a good coach and forcing Sam Darnold on him. It's just not going to happen. So I'll get off my horse now. I just had to get this off my chest because people don't bother learning anything. They just go on raw emotion after years and years of being beaten down by this franchise. You are now all acting strictly on emotion and whatever you're feeling at that moment. Last week, Sam Darnold was out the door. Nobody wanted him here. One decent game, and suddenly everybody wants to build around him. And all the people are like, I told you so. We got to build around Sam. No, you don't have to build around Sam. You're not going to. The Jets are not going to. Get it out of your head. It'll be a miracle if he's here next year. Well, not a miracle. It'll be a miracle if they decide to build around him. It is not a miracle if he's here next year, if they decide not to pick up that option and they just let them play out the string and take their chances. They may do that, but I think they bring a quarterback in, either a veteran or a rookie, and they have him compete with Darnold for the job. That is the more likely scenario. They are not going to build around Sam and extend him long term. It's just not going to happen. They are going to give every opportunity to everybody else, and if Sam works out, hey, great. And I still think the more likely scenario is that they trade him, go in a different direction. Even somebody's free agent quarterbacks, the Mariotas, the Winstons, guys like that who are free. Maybe they sign one of those guys as a stopgap. Sam Darnold's not going to be a stopgap. Okay, it's enough. Cleveland preview coming up next. Have a good one. Be good.